Okay, here's my tasting notes for Gyokuro. And here's the leaves. I always love looking at leaves. And these are, I don't know how to describe them, but they're elegant, I guess. They look fancy to me, but they're emerald green, and I love the textures. I love the differences between the dark green and the light green, giving the texture. And each of the leaves is very needle-like, very thin, simply beautiful. And here's what my cup looks like, so you can see what color the liqueur. And here's my tasting notes. And I actually did some tastings of this, and I did 4 green teas at the same time to compare them. But here we have Gyokuro and Carrageen, and I'll tell you why I have those together in a minute. But I got this from Den's Tea. I feel like Den's Tea is like the expert on the high quality Japan teas. I really recommend them if you're wanting to experience teas. So these are my notes from April 10th. I need to, in fact, some of the other teas I don't have anymore. I've drank them up, but I need to hurry up and drink this one up for it. I don't like to keep my teas too long. I like them to be fresh. But this is the real green tea I wrote because it's really green. I think it's would be what classic green would be. There you can see where this tea originated in Japan. The processing is what makes this tea different than the others. And I remember when I first started learning about this and Googling, but these plants are shaded. They actually shade them from the sun while they're growing. When I first tasted this and began Googling, I was like, wow, I can't believe they go through all that effort to shade the trees so that, or the bushes, the tea bushes, so that it changes the way they taste. So they're hand-picked 90% shaded bushes for about 20 days by covering with bamboo, reed, or canvas mats. If you go online, you can find YouTube videos and things and see that for yourself, how that process works. So that the plant produces a higher amount of chlorophyll, making the leaves a darker green. So that's why they're that emerald green. I feel like even though these are made in Japan, it might be a good tea for St. Patrick's Day. So here's my notes comparing the Gyokuro, which here traditionally is spelt with a G, so I must have a typo in here. Can I fix this with one hand? I'll have to capitalize it later. Is Japan's most expensive and high quality tea. The leaves are flat and needle-like and have some bits of yellow-green that make it a yummy visual texture. These are my notes that I wrote back in April. I learned that the Gyokuro is one of the most expensive teas in Japan, and that its counterpart is Carrageen, which are the sticks and stems left over after Gyokuro is plucked from the tea plant. Isn't that cool that they make sure they use every part of the plant? So sticks and stems of the tea cost less to purchase. They both tasted very similar, but we found the Gyokuro to be more subtle and smooth than the Carrageen. It was almost too subtle that our taste buds became familiar with the flavor. And we actually liked the Carrageen better because it was a bolder taste. Then later, another weekend, we also compared the sencha to the Gyokuro. Since the leaves looked very similar, they tasted similar to us, Both are steamed teas, but the Gyokuro is harvested from plants 90% shaded. This chlorophyll is what gives it the unami taste. Well, then I had to learn what unami is, because that's not a word we use here in America. So the Japanese have identified 5 flavors, that being sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and unami. So unami is the savory flavor, similar to how we think of meats. So sencha is not shaded, but the Gyokuro is, and that's the difference between those two. Kind of a lot to learn. So I've got aroma, flavor, as vegetal, the body full. I mean, how could that not be a full body? Look at that. And so astringency was lively, brisk, so it has some, but not a whole lot. The taste, sweet, grassy, kale, and rich spinach. Oh, the rich spinach. I remember that's what I got the most. I haven't actually sipped this one. I just made for myself, but I am reading my notes and I remember rich spinach. A subtle smell and smoother flavor than Carrageen. Now the finish, we got a lingering, so the finish after I swallowed, it lingered for a while, and I actually got floral then, where I didn't get floral at any other time. Isn't that interesting? So I liked it. I gave it 3 hearts. Not because this is an excellent tea from Den's Tea. I definitely recommend that if you want to experience it. But just personally, I didn't like it as much as other teas. It's just not. I actually liked the sticks and stalks more, and I actually like a roasted flavor more. So I would buy it again, but only to have the experience again and to recommit memory as to what this tea is about. So it's just a personal thing, but definitely that place to buy it's a good one. So here's my image where I compared all 4, and actually I think it was the kuki cha, which is the sticks and stems, because they're roasted. The kuki cha is made from sencha, the leftover the sticks and stems of the sencha. So that's why I put those 2 together. And they're roasted, and oh man, I did like that much better. And we actually like the Carrageen, which is the sticks and stems of the Gyokuro, better. So the more expensive teas, I guess I didn't like as much. And so there's the Carrageen and the Gyokuro photos that I took them together, and you can definitely see the difference. And so that is my tasting notes on Gyokuro.